ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another SHOUTCraft Clan War right here on MLG TV. My name is TotalBiscuit. It's my pleasure to bring you today MVP versus Yo Flash Wolves, a clash of the titans. Taiwan's top team, of course, featuring the might of parting versus the MVP. Oh yeah. It's going to be a good one, I think. This is what the lineup looks like today. It's quite the thing. Choya taking on parting on near Emerald Plaza in a PvP, then straight over to the Legacy of the Void. MVP is now, of course, newly recruited Seed, and will be taking on Ian, Legacy of the Void Coda. After that, Panic versus Lenok on Crazy Clash. Horror versus Haas on Aura Calcom. The cheese is real. New recruit Quiet taking on Slam in a Zerg vs Zerg on Engines War. And then, we would have Marine King. Unfortunately, he's sick today, so they're going to be replacing him. But we're going to have a new player plus Yonghua taking on Vanilla and Haas on Neo Skywalker. I believe it's actually our first outing for that 2v2 map. And then the ace will be on Peninsula. It's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good indeed, I would imagine. We're going to start off here with Choya taking on Parting. I'm about ready to go. I hope that you guys are as well. I'm very excited to see what's going to be happening here in this match. So we're going to get things started right now. Alright, the countdown has now begun here on Neo Emerald Plaza. And I'm going to show you just a little bit of what this map is all about as we take it on into PvP and kick off this clan war. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SHOUTCraft Clan Wars and the first map of our Best of 7 Pro League format right here. Kicking it off with Choya. He is in the orange trunks representing Team MVP. He is playing Protoss to the southwest versus his opponent, a mighty man indeed, one of the scariest Protoss in the world right now, to the northeast position in the blue trunks. Playing Protoss, he is of course Yo Flash Wolves Parting. I would be terrified to go against Parting in a PvP, but I gotta say, Choya's PvP is not that bad. So he's certainly got a shot, assuming that he's prepared properly for this map. There's not a great deal about this map which would be considered hugely unusual, although there are a few things you do have to watch out for regardless. It's a nice looking map, as you can see here. It has a ramp that goes upward rather than down, which takes you to a kind of third base location around here. That is relatively close to your base, but also fairly accessible through a variety of attack paths. So there's a couple of entrances here, but what we've also noticed on this particular map is the fact that there is this walled-off area with rocks that can actually be used to hide some nasty proxies. So you do need to bear that in mind as you head on into this. So we might see some cheese, certainly, from either player. I think Parting's probably confident enough not to really need to warrant it. We've got the first deviation in build order right here. Just a slight deviation, not too much. Both around the same time here for the double gas. And a scout coming out here from Choya, just, I think, looking for any kind of proxy play. And, of course, it is a little bit risky. You've got to watch out for that. Bear in mind, there's things like collapsible rock towers and all sorts of things like that on this map. But it's one of our more standard maps. It's a lovely-looking map, though. I absolutely love the design of Neo Emerald Plaza. It's absolutely beautiful. Just a really gorgeous map. Very much harkens back to Lost Temple, which is fantastic. So thank you, of course, to our community map makers for providing us with such a great pool. We've got Choya with the slightly earlier cybernetics core here. And he took the gas just a little bit later. But we'll see whether or not any of them tries to go for any kind of aggressive play here. But they're both thinking, well, I'm not going to go for a quick expand. This isn't really the map to go with a quick expand anyway. Second gateway coming down here from Parting. That's an interesting move. So we might see the 3-stalker build coming out here from Parting. That's a possibility. What's Choya's move, though? He's grabbing himself another pylon. He's actually placing a proxy. Will we see a proxy Stargate here? It's certainly a possibility. Maybe. And it is a proxy Stargate indeed. And it's a pretty good map to do this on. And the reason for that is because you can put it in a variety of positions which are actually kind of walled off by rocks. This area, however, is actually quite scoutable, which is why I'm surprised that he put it there. It's almost like hiding it in plain sight. It's entirely possible that this ends up getting scouted, but the second gateway on the way and parting producing double stalkers, I'm not 100% sure that the Stargate's going to do a lot, but of course if it produces a Void Ray, then we might get a little bit of a nasty surprise. Scouting coming out here from parting, he sees too little, and that's the problem. He got a full scout of the base, which means, oh my god, he's actually going to see the Stargate pretty much immediately. He sees it right there. Nice and easy pick off. That isn't even going to get a unit out. Choya has already been kind of foiled here. Even with the Chrono Boost, the Oracle is not going to finish. Oh, lovely micro from parting. Did you see that? He blocked the probe from even placing the backup pylon. He moved into position to stop it from happening. There's the cancellation, and Choya's proxy gets absolutely shut down. That's a really bad start there, because, of course, parting is going for what looks to be blink play. Could be DT. I mean, he's still mining gas from both, so it might be a one-base DT play, but it's more likely to be blink on the double gateway here, and there's the blink. And that puts Choya behind in terms of his blink timing. So Choya's going to be about a half a minute behind in terms of blink. So if parting attacks at the right time, bearing in mind, of course, parting's been producing off 2 gateways for quite some time, then we're going to see a very, very unpleasant situation here for Choya, who got his proxy play thoroughly shut down. A lot of Chrono Boost being shoved into that blink to try and catch up, but you can see it's 50 seconds or so behind. And, of course, parting is Chrono Boosting himself here. Neither player willing to go past one base. That's the proxy pylon coming down here for parting. And he's also adding a robo in as well. So that's probably for an observer, so that he's got visibility. Blink play can work here. I don't think you can... I think, actually, no. You can possibly blink across this gap. It does take a little bit of work, though, and it's not perhaps optimal. He's best off just attacking at the front here. And you'll see why. I mean, he's got the numbers. It's 5 Stalkers to 2 here. He is going up against Photon Overcharge, which could be a bit of a problem. There's enough energy for one of those, but we are looking at Blink Stalkers versus non-Blink Stalkers, and Choya having less gateways, which puts Choya in a horrible position. And his gateway's going to get shut down. There's the quick warp in. Is it going to come in before it... Oh, he gets it just, but now that gateway's down, the Cyber Core is, of course, shut down. Not that that really matters, but there's the Photon Overcharge. Choya brings him in as close as he can, but 3 probes picked off. And, of course, no Stalkers lost, although some significant damage taken. Oh, dear. That poor probe got walled off by parting Stalkers. Nice pick off there by Choya. Great micro. But he's still up against a metric ton of Stalkers. 7 Stalkers versus 3. Blink is now done. Oracle's being placed. Choya says, all right, you know what? He somehow managed to get another pylon up, and he's like, all right, we're just going to go and we're going to attack your mineral line. This could work. Of course, if he gets the right timing. But we have the Mothership Core at home, so Photon Overcharge is a possibility here. Choya's going right in for it, and there, of course, goes the Photon Overcharge. Choya's going to have to turn around. That's disastrous. If the Mothership Core had come with Parting's army, then we might have seen a position where Choya could have done damage. But as it stands, Parting is just going to run right over Choya here. He's got the numbers for it. His Blink Micro is, of course, superb. There's no... Oh, he's dancing. Yeah, GG. Nice and quick shutdown there. Flash Wolves puts 1 on the board. Nice and easy. No problems whatsoever. Pretty predictable result, I would say. Most people thought Parting was going to have the edge against Choya, and of course he absolutely did. He shuts him down very quickly in 8 minutes, 29 seconds, and a lovely little PvP pickup there for Parting. Alright, there we go. Legacy of the Void's going to be coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be fun, but that was punishing right there. Absolutely punishing. Parting just running over his opponent nice and easily. The scout on the proxy just shut him down completely. Once that happened, that was pretty much it. Alright, we're moving on to Legacy of the Void Beta, folks, for a Protoss versus Zerg. Seed will take on Ian on Legacy of the Void Coda. We'll be right back after the break. You're watching SHOUTCraft Clan Wars, brought to you by MLG TV. Don't go anywhere. It's a damn good song, isn't it? I bloody well love that song. It's fantastic. It's by a miracle of sound. And it goes by the name of My Revolution. A song for a pretty bad game, unfortunately, that being Assassin's Creed Unity, but an amazing song nonetheless. Alright, Seed. He's found his way on MVP. He used to be on Team Dignitas, as you're probably well aware. He's now a recent recruit to MVP. He's going to be taking on Ian from Yo Flash Wolves here on Coda LE for Legacy of the Void. So we're going to have some Protoss versus Zerg action right here on SHOUTCraft Clan Wars, and here we go. I keep doing that every bloody time. So XSplit, I have to have 2 versions of the game loaded in because the Legacy of the Void beta is a different version. So I keep forgetting to turn them on. I'm sorry. I'm so horribly unprofessional. Alright, folks. Are you after some sexual chocolate? Because that's what Seed is called for some reason. I don't know why. He is in those sexy baby blue trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the east here of Coda versus his opponent to the west position. In the red trunks playing Zerg. He is Yo Flash Wolves Ian. You know what I've noticed about Taiwanese and Chinese players? A lot of them kind of take very sort of standard Western names, which I find to be very interesting. You've got a lot of Korean players that will pick kind of a random word that they think sounds cool and just go with that. So you have people like Quiet. I mean, that's a prime example. He's coming up later. But then you look at the Taiwanese guys and the Chinese guys, and you've got people like Ian, and there's a few others whose name escapes me, who just take sort of very standard Western names, which I find to be very interesting. Maybe it's just a random fact. Alright, so as you're probably well aware by now, I would imagine, Legacy of the Void, you start with 12 workers. They might be changing that economy setup. They're thinking about it. I know that there's some interesting stuff going around at the moment about a double harvester mod, which I really want to try out on a professional setting. The idea that a harvester would actually deliver 10 minerals in gas instead of 5, and that you need less workers, but you could take more bases. So it's an intriguing idea. But we'll see whether or not that actually gains any traction. But these guys start with 12 workers, which means nice quick expands. And I'm actually going to see an expand from Ian as well. So no one-base Ravager play here. We've seen that nonsense happen before, of course. There's an awful lot of craziness going on with Legacy of the Void at the moment. Cats has perfected a build which basically kills you in 3.5 minutes. So that's kind of brutal. But as it stands, we're not seeing anything totally out of the ordinary as of yet. So hopefully we will actually get a little bit of an actual battle between these two, as opposed to something that's as equate. You'll even notice that, like, for someone like Seeds, like someone used to Legacy of the Void, that he actually gets supply blocked here, because the build order is so unusual. So, you usually don't see a pro player get supply blocked so early on in the game, but because of the way that the worker count is, all the timings are completely off, and of course they've even changed the game timer so it reflects real time. And there's the big pro transfer coming out here. Nice, nice, nice. And of course it's good to do that very early on in this game, because a lot of these mineral fields are much, much less populated than they were in Heart of the Swarm. Half of these mineral fields are 1,500, half of them are 750, so you mine out a lot quicker here in Legacy of the Void. Now, will Ian take a third base? That's the question. He looks like he is going to do just that. We're seeing a very passive opening, actually, for Legacy of the Void. That's quite unusual here. A couple of Lings going to scout, see what they can see. They do indeed spot the fact that his opponent has a Nexus up, so he wants to chase those away for the time being. Lings are going to be leaving. So the question is, what are we going to see from the Zerg player? Ravager has proved to be very, very popular. It's a very popular early game rush that works very well. And then, of course, we have the Lurker unit and a bunch of different changes. Things like tunneling roaches are much easier to get. Nidus Worm is immune while it's spawning, which is, again, a huge change. Zerg really do feel like a brand new race now in Legacy of the Void. And it would be lovely to see a Zerg player actually exploit that to its full potential. Like to see some Lurkers, some cool action with that. There's, of course, the Parasitic Bomb that's now part of the Viper's arsenal. Quite impressive, really. Let's see a Stargate coming out of Seed here. Lair Tech on the way up. Nice scout here by Ian. He's going to be able to get a full scout. He's going to see the Stargate coming down, which is absolutely lovely. And I wonder what that Stargate is for. Probably Phoenix, I would think. Phoenix makes sense. Clear some stuff out. And he gets a probe. That's always a nice pick-off. You know, for 2 Lings, gets the scout and a probe, that's totally worthwhile. Absolutely, so he's pretty happy with that. The DPS of the Sentry was unfortunately a tickle. You'll notice the warping time on these units is also a little bit longer as well. That's a part of Legacy of the Void that you may not have realized is the case yet. Warping time now, I believe, is 6 seconds rather than 4. Evolution Chamber coming down here for Ian as well. We might see sort of mid-game Roach Hydra push. That's a possibility. Hydras, of course, now have their upgrades bundled into one, which means they're a little bit more effective. It's always nice to see. So, there's all sorts of options here. But we've got a lot of Lings out in the field initially, which makes me think that he's not actually going to go for something like that. I wonder what he'll try. Oracle coming out. It's actually quite unusual to see an Oracle at this stage, especially when it's scouted. And obviously it'll be nice for taking out these Lings, but there's 3 Spore Crawlers coming down pretty much immediately here by Ian. I mean, he saw the Stargate earlier, so why wouldn't he? And we are actually going to see Hydra play from Ian. Love it. Love it. Seems like the right way to go. Ling Baneling, Muta is, of course, not exactly a strategy which is often used against the Protoss anyway, but some Lings are nice to surround Stalkers and deal with any kind of early game pushes, but they do get shut down so hard by Force Fields, and especially since we've got a lot of sentries coming out here from Seed. It's to be expected that he wouldn't build too much of that. So we're going to see some Hydra action. Yeah, some nice Brood War-esque stuff coming out here. Nice, 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 nice. All right, there's the Groot Spine upgrade. The Muscular Augments is now kind of all bound at the same thing. We're not seeing Lurker play. I'm a bit disappointed not to see Lurkers coming out, honestly. But you do need Hydras anyway, so he might decide later on to get some. Oracle moves in, gets nothing done because the Spore Crawler and the Queen is already there, which is why I thought the Oracle choice is a little bit weird, but the Oracle does, of course, have a new ability. It's called Stasis Ward. It's a cloaked Stasis Ward that can actually freeze the army. This is very effective, but going up against a Hydra force, the chance of you getting a Stasis Ward down without being shot out of the sky is pretty low. So, we'll see what he decides to do. You can do things like, you can actually Stasis Ward in the middle of... Oh, man, he has to watch out for that. He doesn't have the energy for it, but you can, like, Stasis Ward a worker line, which is not something I usually see happen, but I would love to see that. I think that would be very effective worker harass there for the Oracle. Go in, drop the Stasis Ward, get the hell out of there, detonate it. A lot of Hydras on the way up here. So far, C doesn't really have a lot to deal with that. Just a bunch of sentries, which are not really going to do a huge amount of good. I think he wants to try and increase his Stalker count here. I would like to see him maybe go up to Charging Zealot instead. But so far, the information that he has access to is actually kind of limited. He managed to not scout the Hydra in. So this could be a little bit of a nasty surprise for him, as Ian has full map control, and the Hydras, which are of course a lot faster now, are going to move across the map and knock, knock, knock on the door. Got a decent enough army, I suppose, here, but the third base is under potential threat, and of course the sentries aren't going to do much against these Hydralisks. We're going to see a clash between them right now, as the Hydras are now spotted. Mothership Core is under threat. I'm actually surprised he didn't go in there, but looks like he wants to be a little bit cautious, just a little bit. He doesn't want to lose his Mothership Core. And the Hydras, of course, don't want to get... Oh, he is going Lurker. It's so exciting. And that gets scouted. Interesting. Okay. The Oracle manages to make his way in there. I love that he's going Lurker, though. We haven't seen a lot of Lurker play yet in Legacy of the Void, and I have had so much fun with Lurkers when I've been playing the beta. They're my new favorite unit. You could defend with them. It's actually a really good unit for those of us who suck at the game, because you can put a few Lurkers on your ramps, and you're kind of well defended against run-bys, so you have to worry a little bit less about defending, and you can focus a little bit more on fun stuff, like drops and nidus and all that kind of stuff, so... We'll see if Ian decides to go Lurker. So far, there is no sign of a Robo. So Lurker is a potential good play here. There is, of course, one Oracle, which could be used for that, but there's a great risk that it will be shot out of the sky. So we will see. In the meantime, where did he bloody well go? I just lost him on the minimap. Oh, he's in the middle. This new minimap sucks, by the way. I don't know... They need to deal with this. It's really hard to see stuff on the minimap now versus what it was. A lovely revelation right there. It's going to keep an eye on that. He sees the Lurkers as well, but he did just use all of his Oracle energy. He does have enough for a... Oh, yeah. This has actually been changed now. It actually reveals Cloaked and Burrowed units as well now. They actually bundle those together. Ravager shot's going off. He's going to be able to break his way through the force fields, and here we go. Lovely force fields, however, out of seed. But a Ravager breaks it through. So far, though, this is looking really good. Even with the Ravagers, he got so many sentries that he just put new force fields up every time they got broken. So great engagement so far for Seed. Loving it. Really nicely done. Lurkers are here, but they so far have not managed to get much done. Now, Lurker range by default is now actually 9, I believe, which is pretty crazy. So without proper scouting, that Protoss force doesn't want to get anywhere near. Not knocking on the door, trying to break his way through, kills the Zealot, but there's again the revelation. So as you can see, he now actually has vision on the Lurkers, so he does need to watch out, and frankly, that's a big Protoss army. I don't know if these Lurkers are going to do the job. Nice spreading out here by Seed. He's trying to minimize the amount of damage he takes. More Hydras moving in, but I think the Zerg player is going to lose this fight. Oh, that was not a good idea. They jump right on top of the Lurkers and get instantly obliterated. You can't do the same thing. You can't blink on top of Lurkers. It's kind of the... It's the anti-blink mechanic, I suppose. Normally, if you want to get a super aggressive as Protoss, you blink right on top of the enemy, but you blink on, top of, say, swarm hosts. But nice positioning here by Ian, but another great use of the revelation. I love this. This is fantastic. We don't generally see an Oracle used that way. Good shutdown on the warp gates here. Here comes the engagement, but great blink micro-elements from Seed. So fast. Coming out of the brand new MVP player right here. He's taken some fire from the Lurkers, but he's actually dodging Lurker fire here as he continues to engage, and he pulls off and takes out the reinforcements, snipes 3 Hydras, and gets out of there with bare minimum damage. 13 more Hydralisks on the way. Ian playing this full-on Brood War style. If he gets enough Hydras, he's going to be able to fight these Stalkers, but so far, he is losing quite a few units. It's a fairly even trade between these two right now. Pretty even, slightly in favor of the Protoss player. 4 base versus 3 at the moment. Lurkers are now in position again, and there's actually no vision on them this time. So he's going to be able to move away, but I'm loving how active Ian is with these Lurkers. He's in, he's out, he's in, he's out very, very quickly. immediately unburrows and repositions, tries to get a better angle. We're going to see roaches brought into play, which I love. I hope we'll see some tunneling claws here. I'm so excited about Legacy of the Void. I'm sorry, I can't contain my enthusiasm when I get to see this. Psystorm on the way here for Seed. Great answer to the Hydra heavy play. Not so good against lurkers. Yes, they are stationary, but they have 200 hit points. So they can actually eat that and they'll be fine. There's another revelation. He gets, like, the whole army with that. So Ian, I think, is going to have to maybe back off from this. But he would love to strike again, of course, before his opponent is able to get Storm on the field. I don't think he knows about the Storm yet. Here comes another fight. He's trying to get the lurkers into good position, but he's not able to do it. Bear in mind, of course, it takes a little while to burrow them. And if you're not careful, you can end up losing lurkers. And he did. Another revelation goes off. Spots them, but the Hydra Force has got to the point where it's doing a lot of damage now, and it has +2 as well. So he is up against +2 Blink Stalkers, but Hydras do still cut their way through there. A couple of good lurker shots go off here as well, so they're forcing Seed into a bad position. Now Ian pulls back to the lurkers, which I do like, but it was not enough. There we go, GG. The Stalker army gets obliterated, and Ian is the victor. That was actually a bit of a surprise, kind of coming out of nowhere, but great use of Hydra Lurker. Don't see that too much, do we? That's pretty cool. Gotta love that. I'm a fan. What can I say? Ian has earned himself a new fan today. Great engagements, really cool fight, kind of constant running battle there, but turns out Hydra Lurker is a pretty good composition against Protoss. Nicely done. Alright, folks. We got yet more action coming in from Clan Wars. We're going to move right back to the Heart of the Swarm server, and we're going to continue the fight. The next matchup that I have here for you is going to be Panic taking on Leenock. Oh yes, it's going to be on Crazy Clash. Currently, Yo Flash Wolves continues their dominance in the Clan Wars. Will they be able to keep it up as Leenock comes onto the field? We'll find out after the break. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Heart of the Swarm, although you wouldn't bloody well tell, considering how crazy this map is. This is Crazy Clash, and it's my pleasure to bring you Yo Flash Wolves Leenock. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the north, and he is not rallying his Overlord into the missile turrets. He's obviously practiced. Versus his opponent to the west position in the red trunks, playing Protoss. It is MVP Panic. I almost said Startail Panic, because that's who he used to be. Also, really, Doge? I wasn't even aware Doge had made its way to Korea. I guess it does make a certain degree of sense. What on earth is Panic doing? This is a really strange position for the pylon, and this is not a great map to wall off on. I mean, it's possible, but this is already kind of an unusual situation here for Panic, so I guess it's going to be a Forge Fast Expand. Now, a lot of the pathways on this map are maybe, you might be saying, well, what the hell is he doing? That's impossible. That's not impossible. Because, of course, you have this bridge to worry about right here. The problem is, if you open up access to the bridge, then suddenly this area is extremely vulnerable to attack. So, I'm not 100% convinced about this build. I guess we're going to find out. There's the scouting. Panic moves across. But if you look at this route here, you go through past our wonderful sponsor here that's providing $5,000 a month. But you see how you have to actually open these bridges? You've got to attack these, which mean you need a flying unit to open this bridge. So, in reality, this is actually kind of a cool build, because it takes into account the eccentricity of this particular map, and the fact that these bridges don't open before the 15-minute mark unless you can somehow attack this, which you can't, and Panic is going for a cannon rush. It is a 3-pylon cannon rush. Certainly makes sense. I mean, less of a Forge Fast Expand. It was just a kind of a weird place to put the Forge, because it gets scouted almost guaranteed by the Overlord, or by like a Zergling or a drone, but as it turns out, it looks like this is going to work out pretty well. Cannon is thoroughly walled in. There's no chance of anything coming across and dealing with that, but it took a long time for the probe to get over there, which makes me wonder if this is actually going to work. it looks like Leonok is going to cancel out. Alright, so I guess it did, and there is the expand behind it. So, it was a sort of mini cannon rush. Is he going to cancel his photon cannon? No, he's going to leave it up. Okay, so 2 pylons and a cannon. And we're actually going to see a Ninja Gold, which immediately gets scouted. I'm actually surprised that he didn't turn his probe around and try to kill that. But now there are Lings out on the field, so I guess that's not going to work. And he's also expanding over here. So, it's like, expand wherever you like. Is Lenok's strategy. Anywhere but your natural. Let's just go anywhere we like. We've got a gold base here from Lenok. We got this base, and it's all just kind of wild. And it's a good place to hide it as well. Panic, I think, is expecting maybe an attempt to break this, but I don't think Lenok's actually going to bother. He might send the queen over, of course. And it looks like he's actually going to do that. Or maybe he's actually sending the queen over to this one here. Needs to be careful not to get that scouted. A couple of Lings on the way here, and of course, this wall-off is not quite complete yet. There is a cannon backing it up yet. But these Lings, actually, they're coming through 2 at a time, which is definitely not going to work. There's the Cybercore coming off, and the wall-off is now complete here for Panic, so there you go. What a strange start to a game. It was mostly the reaction of Lenok that surprised me more so than anything. The idea that he went and he grabbed this gold base in the middle of the map, and it looks like Panic's actually going to go scout the other side here. I wonder if he'll attempt to cannon again, but I don't think so. The hatchery's almost complete, and there's plenty of possibility to stop this from happening, so I think the time for cannoning has passed. In the meantime, Lenok's actually going to start to work his way through these rocks here, which is great, because that gives him another access route. That's why this forge wall-off is not perhaps it's not maybe the best thing ever, because if you break those rocks down, there are other ways through, and he could just, considering how wide this is, sneak right past here. So we'll see what he decides to do. In the meantime, Lenok has his very, very spread out expansions all over the bloody place. Very, very spread out. Well, so far, Lenok, I don't believe, has lost any Overlords, so that's a plus. We do see Zerg players running their units into the Slayer of Bad Rallied Overlords over here. These are neutral missile turrets. They protect this valuable and very defensible gold base, which can be accessed by attacking the bridge controls. Panic currently, unless he heard that, Panic doesn't know about these rocks going down. It looks like he heard it. Okay. Good game sense there by Panic, certainly, and is now going to be able to bring a Stalker in to prevent this from happening. So far, he's got his rocks in a good place. He's put a pylon down so he can put a cannon there as well. So, I wonder if Lenok will stick to the sling play. It looks like he's going up to lair. And we'll see how many gases he decides to take. So far, we have nobody who's attempted to take the Uber base. Down to the bottom here, we have a gold base that has 4 gases. And no one's tried to take that one yet. And it looks like Panic is waiting to see if his opponent tries, which is probably a pretty smart move here. Phoenix now out here for Panic. Second Phoenix on the way as well. I hope Panic doesn't fly those into the missile turrets. That would be hilarious. I'd actually love to see that, but I'd also be very sorry for Panic if he did it. I think that might induce a bit of a panic, one might think. Looks like we're going to see a Ling style for the time being. Maybe Ling Muta here. We've got Spore Crawlers on the way up. He sees what's coming in, so he's going to have to defend against that. There, the Phoenix is moving across the map here. And it looks like he's going to take gas here. There's only 1 gas at this gold base, so it's not optimal, really, for... He's going to go up to, like, 5 gas if he wants to go to Mutalisk. But if he's getting Zerg melee attacks, it would be very odd to see him do anything else, really. Grabs an Overlord. Nice pick up there by Panic. Good control as well, taking some damage, but that's guaranteed to happen. And there we go. The Extractor is now up and running. He can actually, if Panic actually moves here, he can actually heal this. I don't know if he realizes. I guess he doesn't. I think, flying units do get healed by this, so he could actually fix up this Phoenix by moving it over the healing shrine, which would be kind of cool, but I don't think he realizes that's the case. I can't believe that's still up there. Wow, what do we got here? Panic also taking the gold base, so we've got a bit of a macro game on our hands here. Phoenix is moving across the map. Infestation Pit, and, oh, he had a Hydra and then cancelled it. Infestation Pit. Are we going to see, like, fast Ultra from Lenok? That would be very strange. He was going for... No, sorry, he finished the Hydra Den. I was going to say, did he cancel the Hydra Den? But he didn't. So he went for Zerg melee attack, but now he's transitioning to Hydra. So looks like we might actually see the Infestors used. He may try Swarm Host. I don't know, though. I mean, Swarm Host is, of course, not very popular right now. No, he's going straight to Hive. Straight to Hive? What? That's an unusual move here. Alright, really, really fast Hive coming out from Lenok. Nice pick off here from Panic. He's going to grab a few more. We're going to have to, I think, see maybe another Spore Crawler down here, because this is getting certainly very annoying to deal with. Roach Warren being built here as well. But that is a really, really quick Hive. And I imagine it's for the Hydra upgrade. But it's just, it's so fast. It's so unusual to see it. And the Hydras move out and smash their way through here. In the meantime, what do we have? Well, we've got Colossus play coming out here from Panic. which is, you know, so far so standard here from him. It's going to run right into a wall of Hydras. I wonder if he'll bring Viper in. This may just be a Roach Hydra Viper kind of classic style of composition. A lot of units moving across the map. Hydras as well. And of course, Hydras have to watch out about moving out in small numbers because they're actually very easily lifted and picked off by Phoenixes. As weird as it sounds, you might say, well, Hydras counter Phoenixes. Well, yes, but only in the right number. If you actually have a small group, then Phoenixes are very good at picking up and killing Hydralisks because they're light armored units without a lot of HP. We're seeing very, very late upgrades, and is going to be a very, very early Roach Hydra Viper composition, which is very, very light on upgrades against his opponent. And this can actually work. He's knocking these down here, and there's only one Colossus out on the field right now. Extended Thermal Lance isn't even close to being finished, so even if he doesn't have the Vipers, he's actually got a good shot at taking this fight. And he moves in with the units. Grooved Spine is about to be done. And now it's done. He's ready to rock and roll. In the meantime, Phoenixes move in, and they are able to grab a few drones out on the way. One Phoenix is shot down here. And it looks like we're going to see Leonok pull back, but he's found an angle here where he's able to actually snipe away at this mineral line. So a nice little move there by Leonok. Certainly, in a couple of minutes, we're actually going to see the bridges open, which is going to open up even more attack paths. Usually, Crazy Clash doesn't even last that long, and we don't even get to see that. But we are seeing a fairly long game here. Viper's on the way, and the Templar Archives is not done yet. So this is the possibility. Yoink! Down goes the Colossus. Lovely move there by Leonok, taking the fight in exactly the right place. Photon Overcharge doing absolutely nothing here. And the Hydras are able to snipe away from the high ground, and there's no observer in play whatsoever that is actually anywhere close to this fight, so he can't even fire up. This is a bit of a problem for him. Phoenix is on the way back, but not a lot of them. He's going to have to watch out for that. And very soon we will see things open up. Lings moving in to take the photon cannon fire here by the looks of it. There's the focus fire, but there is a Colossus up right now. He's got to be a little bit careful. He does have a Viper, but there are now Templar in the mix, and there's not a lot of Vipers. So if he gets feedbacked, he's in a little bit of trouble. See if he can kind of snipe away. I think a couple of Hydras do get in range of this kind of stuff, so they can do a little bit. We are 1 minute away from all these bridges opening. So this, once the bridges open, this is actually going to cause a huge problem, I think, for Panic, because it's going to open up a brand new attack path for Leonok that is much, much more vulnerable than going around the side in the way that he has been doing. So this is actually a great opportunity here for Leonok once those bridges open up. Like that nice little snipe here. Broodlords? That's a rare thing indeed, but it's great. I mean, think about it for a second. This map is perfect for Broodlords. You could set Broodlords up on the high ground here and just rain down death and destruction. He's got his natural. Lovely. I never even noticed he's actually taken his natural expansion now. Another Phoenix goes down. It's so unusual to see Broodlords coming out, but we're going to see him from Leonok by the looks of it. He doesn't scout either. He doesn't see the spire. Now, the bridge is open, ladies and gentlemen. At 15 minutes, all the bridges are now open. Leonok now has an additional potential attack path. And also, access to this gold base up to the top is now available, which actually gives you yet another attack path. You can go all the way around here and attack right into the main of your opponent. So now is where Crazy Clash gets even wilder. What? Panic is doing just a huge Zealot run-by here. He doesn't even have charge, but he's setting up a huge Zealot run-by to attack from this direction. In the meantime, where is the army? Well, Leonok is building up, and he's breaking down some rocks so he can gain access here, but we're going to see some contention over these gold bases, I think. It's going to be very interesting to see how that works, but look at the amount of Zealots that Panic has warped in here. It's a huge army of them. He's got 16 Zealots that are looking to do a huge run-by, but look at that, Leonok realizes the vulnerability and builds a giant wall of spines. And there's Broodlords morphing in. So I don't see a lot happening here, but look at this. Panic runs a bunch of Zealots. He uses the Warp Prison to bring a bunch of Zealots right into the main base. And now they're going to strike at the Hive. He's going to have to bring that army back. He doesn't want to lose that Hive. It's down to half HP and falling rapidly. Leonok needs to move his ass. He hasn't spread the creep, and in the meantime, that attack does absolutely nothing. The Hive's going down! Nice little snipe there. I mean, he invested a lot of minerals to do this, but he kills the Hive. But the thing is, the key tech's already up. He's already got the Great Aspire. He's already got pretty much what he needs here to make things work. And now Leonok, of course, realizes, oh, look at these bridges. Look at the possibilities. Broodlord's on the way. How fast do... I don't know why they're turning around. It's like, all right, okay. I think he's just moving. Yeah, he's moving in position. He's throwing away the rest of his Phoenixes now because he needs to get another army. Look at the number of Broodlords. There's 11 Broodlords on the field. This base is forfeit. It's going to take so much damage. So far, we haven't seen either player actually make use of these bridges. We've got another base coming up here by Panic. We've turned ourselves into a full-on high-tech game here. And here we go. Look at that. Roach, Hydra, Viper, Broodlord. Because Lenok. Oh, War Prism's on the way. We could see some damage here, but raining down death and destruction are these Broodlords from on high. And there is currently no answer. There really isn't. He's got no Void Rays. He's going to, even if he brings in Blink Stalkers, that's not going to do the job. But in comes the army. Huge Blink Stalker army. Tends to prove me wrong, but the great Blinding Clouds. Huge storms on the Vipers. Huge storms on the Hydras. Needs to bring them back immediately, but now the Broodlords get to work. Another set of big storms cuts their way through the Hydra Force. In the meantime, potential warping into the main base, and he's moving. I love this move here by Lenok. He realizes, look, I can move here. It's much safer. This is a great Broodlord map. I can make this work. He does yet more damage and rains down destruction, killing off the gold base. He has a huge Zealot warping, wants to shut down the natural. Looks like he's got the army to make it happen. In the meantime, Panic decides, you know what? That Forest of Spine Crawlers is nothing compared to the power of the Protoss. He's going to roll in right on where the new Hive is morphing in. In the meantime, more bases going down. Lenok being stretched thin across the board. Evenly sized armies. Where are the Broodlords? They're so slow. It's taking them ages to get back. More damage being done. Looks like the newly minted Hive is going to be destroyed. Viper picked off as well. Bad engagement here for Lenok, but here come the Broodlords. And now he should be able to push this back, but not without taking significant losses. 26 drones were killed in the process. The newly minted Hive was killed as well. We need to see some infestors here, I think, actually, from the Zerg player. Looks like there's some corruptors out now, so finally this is going to go down. But the Protoss player fought back hard here. And even against Broodlords, he was able to exploit the immobility. I'd love him to take his base right now. This is a great opportunity for him. He could take the Nexus here. Right now, income is looking something like this. It's in favor of Panic, but that's only because Lenok lost half his mining drones. In the meantime, look at the size of that Blink Stalker army. 43 Blink Stalkers, plus 2, with backup from Colossus and a couple of Archons here as well, with a few high... Well, just one High Templar, actually, so... Oh, he has no Vipers left, so that's not even going to be a factor. Broodlords in great defensive positions, though. Loving that. Great position here for the Broodlords. Very difficult to blink under. Lenok making sure to flank around and say, look, you can't get under my Broodlords. I'm not going to let you do that. And Colossus gets shelled from the sky. 16 Broodlords in the sky here for Lenok. Lovely pick off. Yet more damage. Uh-oh, here come the Blink Stalkers. There are 43 of them, but look at the amount of Broodlings. It's just not going to happen. A big storm and a Time Warp combo. Wombo combo right here on the Zerg army, doing yet more damage, but the Broodlords are still cutting their way through. There's the blink, though. Now he has the answer. Or does he? He doesn't. There's too many Broodlords. More Roaches coming in to buffer damage, but the Protoss player is taking huge losses here as the Broodlords continue to fire from the sky. Colossus being taken out, and suddenly the Protoss army in full retreat as Lenok drives him back across the map here and shells with yet more Broodlings. Colossus taking a lot of fire. Another Colossus falls to yet more Broodlings in the Zerg player. Now emboldened by his huge counter swing, is going to surround and try and destroy the Protoss army. The last Colossus falls. It's only Blink Stalkers now. And there's not enough Blink Stalkers. There's 11 Broodlords on the field. I have not seen Broodlords used effectively in a very long time, but Lenok is looking like he might turn this into a 3-0. The line of sight blocking forest is in play, which actually, this is a really weird place to fight. Fighting around the healing shrine, the line of sight blocking forest, it makes it very, very difficult. But the Broodlings, I believe, are providing line of sight. And there's nothing in the air here for the Protoss player, so inherent advantage goes to the Zerg as he attempts to fight through the forest. And now gets a flank on, fires yet more Broodlings, kills yet more Stalkers. And despite the economic dominance of the Protoss player, he can't fight this army. Lenok has so much going for him right now. He is playing an incredible game with these Broodlords, really well positioned in every respect, defending and protecting his Broodlords from ground units that were trying to get beneath them. It's still no attempt to transition either, like no attempt to transition to a Stargate play, no attempt to get Tempests out, no attempt to get Void Rays out. He is fighting with ground units alone. And right now it's not enough. Lenok has mined out that gold base, though. That could be a concern. He's starting to mine these bases out. This one is pretty much full. This one is actually surprisingly full because he took it so late. So it's not too bad for him. I'd still love to see Panic try and take the gold base with the Uber gases. That would allow him to produce a lot of high-tech units here. But Lenok, with the size of that army... Man, one bad fight here for the Protoss could spell his doom, because Lenok is starting to build up a bank, whereas his opponent is scrambling to get enough units out, and he's relying purely on Stalkers, but he does this time have some backup from more High Templar. Might do the job, but a lovely position again. Lenok takes the high ground. Where's the... I mean, there is no observer here, so Panic isn't really able to get good visibility. Every time these Broodlords move back out, they're moving out of range of the Stalkers. There's the blink underneath, but the Hydras bring their supreme firepower down on the units of the Protoss. Good Storms were able to wipe out some of the Broodlings, but not without significant damage. Good Blink, another Blink Stalker taken off, but he's surrounded by units. He's surrounded by Broodlings. Great Storms, but not good enough. Leenock takes it up after a fantastic game here on Crazy Clash, and Yo Flash Wolves are up 3-0. Will this be our first all-kill of the tournament? It is entirely possible. Yo Flash Wolves looking incredibly well prepared this time around again. After they absolutely wiped the floor with Prime, they're looking to do the same thing again here against MVP, and they might be able to do it. It's all up to one man, folks. It is up to Horror, who takes on the cheesiest man of them all, Yo Flash Wolves Haas, next on Aura Calcom. Can Horror save the honor of MVP, or will Yo Flash Wolves take the all-kill here tonight? We'll find out after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hasstown. What are you up to? In the red trunks, playing Protoss to the southeast position in Aura Calcom, it is Yo Flash Wolves Haas versus his opponent who might be about to experience some real horror. In the yellow trunks, playing Zerg, MVP Horror. He's the last man standing, and he might not be standing for very long because Haas is a very strange man indeed, and is known to bring only the finest of smelly, smelly cheese. And that's exactly what he's doing. It looks like we're going to see a proxy gateway here out of Haas. First pylon, the wrong side of the map. Welcome to Haas City. Population, us. That's what Haas does, folks. He is so very, 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 very cheesy. Just ludicrously cheesy. I want to see one gate or two. One gate or two, Haas. How many is it gonna be? He's on 10 probes. Is this double 10 gate? Is he seriously gonna double 10 gate? Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? He's gonna do it! Gas first here for Horror. I certainly hope to see a spawning pool follow-up here, because if it's not, he's very dead. Alright, he's got a spawning pool. That's a start. It's a start. It's not a win yet, but it's a start. Bear in mind, no scouting drones, so Horror is not going to know about this, probably until the Zealot actually reaches his base, because he's only scouting with Overlords. It's going to take him a while to get over there. Haas, you're just evil. Haas is just... like, part of me wants to be disgusted with Haas, but simultaneously, I just can't. I can't be. Haas plays and understands the competitive way that StarCraft 2 works better than anybody, to the point where he's willing to do literally anything to win. Anything. He's following it up with a forge as well. He cancelled the gate. Okay, he cancelled the gateway and went into a forge. He's putting a pylon down at the bottom here. It's almost like he's trying to trick Horror. Oh my god, he's going home. What is he doing? Haas! Haas? What? Why? But why? I guess he scouted the pool. I guess that was why. He saw the pool and he's like, alright, screw it. We're going to cancel the gateway and we're going home. Instead of trying to do the 2-gate. He's now building a photon cannon in defense because he's got a couple of things coming across the map here. But I still think it would have done a lot better maybe if he'd just gone right for the base. But hey. Alright. Well, the cheese has ended, I suppose. He scouts the proxy gateway. He's like, what are you doing? Like, I don't really know, but Horror's actually attacking quite well here. Good control from both players. Nice pullback there from Horror. Loses one lane, but the Zealot is badly hurt here. Not enough lanes to break this down, though. Haas has a photon cannon in place. And I really think that Haas actually believed that his opponent maybe had got that pull down faster than he thought. And as a result, he thought there was going to be a counterattack. But never mind. There we go. Well, that's actually not good for Haas, because, of course, he built the gateway. That pylon's down here as well. He is now constructing what is going to be a forge slow expand behind that. And that means that he's locked in his base, whereas Horror can do whatever the hell he likes. I mean, I said there's a probe out on the map, but it's now dead. So full map control is in Horror's favor. And suddenly Horror looks like he's going to try and pull it back. He's building he's overdone the Lings completely. Oh my god, he got us surround. How the hell did he manage that? There was a hole in the wall. He was able to get us around, and now he's surrounded the cannon, and suddenly, Hash GG's! Horror, what the hell happened there? That looked like a complete wall. Apparently it was not. The Lings slipped by, and that's it. Haas dies in 5 minutes, and suddenly Horror puts one on the board for MVP. What is happening here? What is going on? That was really surprising. It's like, oh, he's walled in, okay, we're gonna get a fast game. But no, apparently there was a hole in the wall. Disaster for Haas, and Yo Flash Wolves drops a map. Well, well, well. Alright, our next map is going to be on Engines of War, folks. I know a lot of you really love that one. We're going to see a Zerg versus Zerg. Quiet taking on Slam right after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Engines of War. I know you all love this map. It's the cannon map. Oh, yes, it is. And it's my pleasure to bring you Quiet, who I know very little about. He is brand new to MVP. He only has a couple of matches on Aligalac. He's not even on Liquipedia. This guy is a rookie, as far as I'm aware. And he is to the southwest position in the red trunks playing Zerg, versus his opponent, who is, of course, also playing Zerg, in the blue trunks to the northeast. It's Yo Flash Wolves Slam. And neither of them are going drone into the center here, which it looks like they're also both attempting to avoid vision range on that cannon, and I don't blame them. Uh-oh, hello. Slam's moving out. Alright, so this may be an attempt by Slam to catch this Overlord, and if Quiet makes a mistake and puts his Overlord here, this Overlord will die. This is actually a very bad move by by Quiet. I'm surprised he's doing it. This is kind of a rookie mistake on this map. As soon as this Overlord moves into range, it's going to get shot to pieces. And... wow, did he just... okay. No, I don't take it back. It's been scouted. I was going to say, did Quiet discover an Overlord path that is out of range of the cannon? No, he didn't. It's dead. That's really bad. Okay, so Quiet loses his starting Overlord, which is absolutely not what you want, and that puts Slam in a fantastic early position. I really thought if he'd actually gone this way and stayed on the high ground, he would have been safe. But he actually moved into vision range of the cannon, which was a gigantic mistake indeed, and as a result, Slam takes a solid early lead. Alright, spawning pool on the way up here for Quiet, who is going to have to replace his starting Overlord. That basically puts him... it doesn't put him too far behind, but it does screw with your starting build order, so you do want to watch out for that. And Slam's going to move into position with his Overlord, and this is great, because if you gain position and grab the cannon with your initial Overlord, your opponent in a Zerg versus Zerg can't move his Overlord in and neutralize it, because the Overlord will die before it actually gets to the cannon. Takes 2 shots to kill an Overlord, so that just doesn't work out very well. But we might see our Zerg players try and take control of the outlying cannons with these Overlords, because, I mean, why not? You know, why not do that? You might as well. Okay, well, both of these guys looking pretty even so far. Of course, there's a slight supply advantage here for Slam, as a result of having to build an additional Overlord. Oh, wow. And that's actually not good either. Quiet loses to their Overlord! Yep, that's the range of it. Basically, these 2 pillars here is where the cannon can reach. So, that was, again, I wouldn't say actually, it was a mistake. Quiet, what are you doing? No, Quiet, don't. Quiet, it'll die. Why? Quiet, what are you... no, Quiet, no, stop, no, bloody hell. Okay, Quiet's lost 3 overlords to the center cannon in 4 minutes. That's not brilliant. Well, at least he was able to take it back, and now if he controls it, he can actually blow up this overlord. There we go. Alright, so a bit of vengeance coming in here. We're going to keep an overlord dead count. So currently, Quiet's lost 3 overlords, and his opponent lost 1 to the cannon. Baneling Nest on the way up here for Slam, and obviously, because he's killed 3 of his opponent's overlords, for God's sake. So why would you not? He's in a great position here. Wards off his opponent. Baneling Nest doesn't get scouted. Basically, Quiet somehow got 1 overlord over here, and that's it. There's no other overlord coverage here for Quiet. How does one make the same mistake twice? I just don't know. That's just beyond bonkers. I'm actually surprised Slam even moved back. Yeah, actually, I really don't know why he moved back. Maybe it was because you could move an overlord here and then have your queen snipe from there, but I'd have stayed there because it turns out Quiet's apparently pretty good at messing up. All right, we've got more lings on the way up here for Slam. There's the scout, but it might not even matter. It's going to be about 28 lings and banelings plus the cannon versus, well, nothing else. Slam's Uh-oh. The cannon, he's what Quiet... I don't think Quiet has practiced this map, I'm going to be honest. He's built... If he had, he'd know the cannon range, and he wouldn't be doing this. He's lost 3 overlords. He's about to lose an evolution chamber. This looks like it's going to be curtains for MVP here, and Quiet... I'm really not sure what he was doing, because, frankly, he had nothing better to do with his time. He probably should have practiced the map, and it looks like this is going to be game. In come the banelings. They get the best connections possible. There's a bunch of lings now surrounding it. We've got 1 down, of course, the cannon firing as well. This looks like it's going to be game. Yo Flash Wolves looking way better prepared than MVP in this series. Horror being the sole man who was able to deal with anything that Yo Flash Wolves could throw at him, but this is an absolute disaster, and Quiet putting on the worst performance of the night here by far. Dear Lord. MVP just got taken to school by Yo Flash Wolves. They need to go back to the drawing board after that one. They got absolutely destroyed. And this is going to be game. GG, ladies and gentlemen. A short series as MVP gets the floor wiped with them by Flash Wolves, who are now looking very strong, let's be honest, in the Clan Wars. Really, really good indeed. Yo Flash Wolves have obviously practiced these maps, and they're very, very adept at them. We saw them just destroy Prime, and now they destroyed MVP. 2 of the strongest teams in the league. How? Through the virtue of practicing the maps. What a strange thing indeed that was. That was a very short clan war. MVP got ripped to shreds. Absolutely destroyed. So there you go. Unfortunate, but that's what happens. I think you can see the big difference between the team that really practices the maps and understands, and then a team that does not. I mean, look at Lennox's strategy, for instance. Totally understanding the way that the map works. Haas being the only one to drop a game, and that really is, I think, due to more of a mistake than anything else, just a little micro mistake. And everyone else from Yo Flash Wolves looking to be in tip-top form here during the Clan Wars. 4-1 versus Prime, and 4-1 versus MVP. A dominant force, indeed. Congratulations to Yo Flash Wolves on a pretty damn easy win. Well, folks, I guess you can go to bed early tonight. Quiet needs a bit more practice, I think. There we go, folks. Congratulations to Yo Flash Wolves, and I'd say commiserations to MVP, but let's be honest, it was kind of their own fault, wasn't it? My name's been TotalBiscuit. Thank you very much for watching, and I'd like to, of course, remind you there are more Clan Wars on the way. The next Clan War will be on April the 27th at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Axiom takes on Root. It's going to be Crank versus Supernova, Alicia versus Igers, Heart versus Cats in Legacy of the Void, Soul Key versus Hydra on Peninsula, Ryung taking on Kelazur, and then Crank and Heart taking on Hydra and Marsa on Neo Skywalker. Then, of course, next month, on May the 2nd, we have Clan Who, the guys from Australia, taking on Startail, and then Prime taking on My Insanity on May the 4th. Check out Liquipedia and the thread over on TeamLiquid.net, as well as, of course, the schedule on MLG.tv for more information. And if you missed any of the Clan Wars, you can go check them out over on youtube.com/TotalBiscuit, with full spoiler-free VODs available for all of the Clan Wars up to this point. If you missed anything today, it will be in the VOD, which gets released tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and a big thanks to MLG TV for providing $5,000 a month in prize money right here for the Clan Wars on MLG TV. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.